Welcome back to Sometimes Love Isn't Enough. I'm your host, Angie Grant. And so this podcast is all about parenting through challenges. It's about giving you tools to break generational patterns. It's about giving you tools to show up the way that you want to for your kids. And well, here as I record this today, it's nearly the end of the year, 2025. And as the year 2025 is wrapping up and I'm thinking about next year, right? It's almost 2026. I'm not a fan of New Year's resolutions. I find that we write these resolutions about things that we want to do differently, but they're often driven by shoulds, right? I should lose more weight, or I really should exercise more, or I should really eat better, or I should be a better partner in my relationships, or I should be a better parent. But when we have goals that are driven by shoulds, they don't last very long because those shoulds that are driving us to create these goals or these New Year's resolutions, they don't carry the weight that they need to help us keep our fire burning when things get hard. So that's what I want to talk about today is why this matters for parents and what in the heck do we do when it gets hard. So here's my thought about writing goals is that, as I said, when we have goals that are based on shoulds, they don't they don't last. At least not for most of us. Some of us have so much willpower that we can just push through New Year's resolutions. However, I often think that when we're just doing amazing with New Year's resolutions, oftentimes it is because it's not really a should and there's something much bigger behind it. But, with that all being aside, when when I think about this idea of goals and preparing for the new year, I have a question for you. What do you really want? What do you really want in your family, in your relationships, perhaps in your career or your sense of fulfillment? Do you have what you want right now, or do you think that you have all that you're capable of? Because in order for us to write goals, we first have to start dreaming. We have to imagine and even believe for a bit that things that we currently think are impossible, that things that we think are unreachable, might just be available to us. So suspend your mind, your current sense of belief, your even looking around your room to see what you have or don't have, or what you think that you can afford, and put all of that aside for a bit. Because the first thing that we must do before we write a goal is to imagine what we really want. And I don't just mean imagine like make a list. I mean, close your eyes and feel what it feels like with your goal achieved. So we're not yet to the point of writing goals, but I want you to think about what it is that you really want. Maybe you want a beach house, or you want to enjoy dinners with your family. Maybe that's something that just doesn't seem attainable right now. Or maybe you want to leave your job and do something that is more fulfilling to you. Maybe, just maybe, you want to be on the same page with your partner and feel like you are in lockstep when it comes to parenting. But when you look around, maybe you look at your partner and you're like, there's no way we could ever be on the same page. He's too stubborn, or she's, has such a trauma history, or whatever it might be. I want you to suspend all of that disbelief and just think about what it is that you really, really want. I often, um, I often encourage to think about two big areas of life. One being more financial, perhaps, maybe thinking about where you want to be making money or how you want to be making money. What do you want to be doing to making money? And also something important when it comes to relationships. It could be your relationship with yourself or with somebody else that really matters to you as well. And so you can pick one or both of those areas. And as I suggested, just close your eyes and imagine that wish or dream being fulfilled. What does it feel like? How are you standing when you're in this place that you have met this thing that seems impossible today? How does it feel inside your body? What are you thinking? What are you seeing? What is your face doing? What can you smell? Is there anything that you can feel or touch? Because when we engage all of our senses in this imaginative process, this creative process, when you can really engage all of your senses, it has a bigger impact. So we must start there by imagining. Imagine a life that you want that currently today seems impossible. One of my mentors will often call this a future memory. Taking maybe a key moment in the future, right? This hasn't happened yet, and really putting yourself in that place, really imagining yourself a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 6 months from now, and really putting yourself in that place in the same way that we have past memories, right? You can put yourself back to 6 months ago or 5 years ago, and you can remember how it felt. You can remember what you saw. You can remember what you smell oftentimes. Smell is such a um, powerful trigger for memory. So do the same for the future, right? Because oftentimes what we do as humans is that we imagine the future, but we often imagine the worst case scenario. We worry about, whether or not I'll have enough money or whether or not I'll, still be in this place of struggle with my kids, or we worry about whether or not we're gonna, our relationship is going to survive. We worry about these things, but that's just the shadow side of using our imagination. We get to choose how we use our imagination. Neither of them are here yet, right? The future is not here yet, whether good or bad. So, with this exercise, I really want you to imagine. So, take this idea, write it down, and create some space for yourself over the next week or 2 weeks. And each day, get in a space where you have peace and calm. If you don't have peace and calm at home, maybe it's in your car, as you pull into work, go to work 10 minutes early and just give yourself that space, or, pull someplace where you feel like you have that time and space to really dedicate to using your imagination. So once you've created this future memory, once you've created this future vision of what you really want to accomplish, then I really encourage you to pick a goal from that. Pick something that does not seem like you can reach the goal, right? So if you're imagining that, a year from now, that you're enjoying a dinner with your family. Maybe right now dinners are so chaotic and stressful and everybody's fighting and you're dealing with picky eating and behaviors at the dinner table, and it causes you so much stress. If you can't even imagine what a peaceful connected dinner would be like, well, I want you to try to imagine it. Maybe tap into the idea of like wondering what it might be like at other people's dinner table. And then I want you to pick a goal from that, something that today seems unreachable. So if you don't have any evidence around you that dinner can be peaceful, pick a goal like that you want to have 2 peaceful dinners a week. And if right now that seems unattainable, I think that's a great place to start. Or if you and your partner are fighting all of the time and can't seem to get on the same page about the kids, maybe that's your goal, that you are able to support each other with parenting type decisions. Pick a goal that today seems like you have no idea how you're going to get there. Because if you pick a goal that you've done before, if you pick a goal that you know how to do it, that's not really a goal. It's just a to-do list. So pick pick that goal. And when you pick that goal, like I said earlier, I would really suggest picking a goal that's more like financial or career based or purpose based. And then pick a second goal if you choose that is more about a relationship. I know for myself, for the longest time, and I don't know if I've completely met this goal yet, but when I first learned this concept, my first personal goal was about me and loving myself unconditionally because of my past and the stories that I tell myself about my worthiness of love. And I knew that in order for me to show up for the people that I love, I have to first show up for myself. And that's a hard goal, right? But but it matters to me so incredibly much because I know that I can't reach my career or financial goals without loving myself. And I can't reach my relationship goals without loving myself first. So that's one of my big goals. I also have had along the path several different financial goals, but I keep reaching them. So once I reach a goal, then I write the next goal, a much bigger, loftier goal. And then I reach that goal and I might write a much bigger and more lofty goal. And so many of the goals that I've written have been things that I've never done. Well, all of them have been things that I've never done before and have pushed me. So here's the reason that I suggest writing goals that seem unreachable. Because when we write a goal that we already know how to do, that we've done it before, or we have the instructions to do it, if it's something that we already know how to do, well, the current version of you is totally capable of doing that, right? But if you write a goal that seems impossible, if you write a goal for something that you've never done before, maybe you've convinced yourself that achieving that goal is for other people, people who are more successful than you, more bold than you, more, I don't know, smart than you, whatever is going through your head. If you think it's something that's for other people, well, then perhaps that's the right goal for you. Because in order for you to reach that goal, you have to be a different version of yourself. You have to increase your emotional frequency, your energetic frequency in order to reach that goal. The current version of you has not yet reached that goal. And so you do have evidence that perhaps you need to change who you're being. You have to change how you're showing up for yourself, for your business, for your job, for your relationships, whatever it might be. So so that's where we start, right? We create a big vision and then we fine tune and pick a goal that seems impossible, but it doesn't stop there because once we've created that goal, then we have to start working on believing it. And the best way that I know how to believe it, at least what works for me, is making sure that I put that goal in front of myself every single day. When I lay my head down on my pillow at night, I repeat my goal to myself at least 3 times. When I wake up in the morning, I repeat it to myself at least 3 times. When I'm journaling in um my energy forecast journal, I again write down my goal and repeat it and visualize it. That idea of visualizing isn't a one and done kind of thing, right? We have to keep that at the front of our mind because your mind is going to take over. Your mind is going to show you all kinds of evidence about why that goal is not reachable, why that goal isn't achievable. And so it's up to you to shift that narrative. It's up to you to, if that goal really, really matters to you, it's up to you to change the way that you're showing up for that goal, the way that you're showing up for yourself because the goal isn't going to happen by itself, right? I'm all for manifestation, but manifestation means that we need to be in energetic alignment with the goal, with with what we want to create. We can't sit here, arms crossed, all, yeah, I guess this goal isn't going to happen kind of mode, and then be annoyed that the goal didn't happen, right? We we manifest what we bring the energy for. So, so step one is creating that vision and really pulling in all of your senses. Step two is coming up with a goal, not a practical goal, but something tangible so that you'll know when you met the goal. And then step three is getting that goal in front of you every single day and get it in front of you. Don't just read it for the sake of reading it or say it for the sake of saying it, but really imagine it. Get yourself in that space as often as possible to really put yourself into that future memory and keep imagining it because it is in that space where you are continuously helping yourself believe that this goal is achievable, that new ideas will come to you. When your mind is so closed off and you can only see one path forward, your current path, you're not even open to the possibilities of what else could be possible or how that goal might come to fruition. It's actually not your idea to figure out how to make the goal to happen. It is your job to hold that idea, to nurture that idea, to create a safe space for that idea to grow and evolve and attract into you the things that might make it happen. And you just never know what that might be. You just never know what that thing will be that your goal was waiting for if you don't create a space for it. So, I feel like this is a big task for all of us to do. I'm right there with you. I'm working on my goals for 2026 and really expanding what I think is possible for myself and for my relationships. So, I would love to hear what goal that you are working on. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about this new evolved way of thinking about your goals. And one thing I want to make sure that I don't lose sight of this too is as you're thinking about writing your goals, there are some really key elements in your human design that can help direct you, not to what your goal is, but perhaps energetically what might be more in alignment with what's right for you, right? Your design shows you not only how to make aligned decisions for yourself, but it shows what you really energetically value. It shows what your truth is. Your design can really show you what you're designed to put out into the world. And so if you're ready to dig into your goals for the new year or at any time, and you want to know how to really tap into your design to do that, I'd love to help you out with that. So that's all for this episode. Thanks so much for hanging out, and we will talk soon.